Meta stock reports earnings this Wednesday, and the stock is sitting at one of the biggest technical decision points we've seen in months. The monthly chart is flashing a possible head and shoulder pattern, but the daily chart is also hinting at a potential relief rally. Could Meta stock crash towards $500, or are the bulls about to squeeze this stock back towards $680? Let's break down every time frame from the monthly all the way down to the 1 hour chart and see what the technicals are really telling us. Right now, the price of Meta is at $593.87, and starting off here with the monthly chart, I'm seeing two possible scenarios. There's a bullish and a bearish scenario. The first one that I'm seeing is we have a possible head and shoulder pattern here, where this is the left shoulder, this is the head, and this is the right shoulder here, and we're pretty much on the neckline. So the measured move to this, if it plays out, could possibly bring us all the way down to this blue line, this 100 moving average, which is at $342. Now we see gaps here in the VRVP, where if we lose the neckline, we could easily drop down here to about $500 or so, and if we lose here, we could drop down to this node at $360. Another thing is that in the month of June, we have a big red engulfing candle. For July, we were able to make it back above the 21 moving average. We went up as high as $686, but then we dropped down all the way to $577. We're currently below the 21 moving average. Now we have 4 days to try to make it back up. I feel if we stay below the 21 moving average, this is going to be bearish, and again, we could come down, test $500, and eventually possibly come down to test this 50 moving average, which is at $452.96. Now what is giving me some bullish vibes here is that we never lost the 50 here on the RSI. We came down, tested it, we bounced up, we came back down, tested it, and now we're kind of pointing up, so that's bullish. And the stochastic RSI have some bullish divergence here, and we're also very low, which means we could start coming back up. Maybe we could do something like this where we just come straight up. Again, we could also drag here for a while, but right now is looking a little bit more bullish with these indicators showing that we might get a pump up here. So if that is the case, maybe this is not a head and shoulder pattern, and instead this is actually some type of a falling wedge. And depending on when this falling wedge breaks out, this could take us back up to about $800. Now, there's some caveat to this. Obviously, this falling wedge could continue coming down, and we could still touch that 50 moving average and then eventually come up. The measure move at that point wouldn't be $800, but we'll still make it back above $600, possibly $700. July could still come all the way down. We could come back up in August, September come back down, and we could still trace this for a while before this falling wedge breaks out. But I think that the stochastic RSI with the bullish divergence and the RSI is in our favor at the moment. So let's keep in mind these two possible scenarios. We head over to the weekly time frame. This one to me is looking a little bit more bearish. This is kind of looking to me like a rounded top. We lost all the major moving averages here, including the 21 moving average. You guys already know on the weekly chart, if we lose the 50 moving average, for me, the asset is in the beginning stages of a bear market. And now that we lost a 21 moving average, and this week is also starting to be red, if we close like this, we could pretty much fall down to this 200 moving average, which is at $478.37. We're below the 50 on the RSI. The stochastics RSI are pointing down. So I think depending on what happens with earnings on Wednesday, if they're bad, this could start triggering us down towards this 200 moving average area. Now on the 3-day chart, this is also looking a little bit bearish. Stochastics are toppy. We're rolling over. We're losing the 50 here on the RSI, and it's pretty much the same scenario. We lost all the major moving averages, including the 200 moving average here. So it looks like we could come back down and test this bottom that we had here at $543, and if we lose that, we could continue to go down as well. Now this is where it gets a little conflicting, because now on the daily chart, we see that the stochastics RSI are not fully reset, but we're low enough where we could start making a move up. So again, if earnings are good, we could get a move up. This 21 moving average looks like it's going up, so if it crosses up on the 200 moving average, that would be bullish. And if we could get back here to about $630, we have a nice gap here in the VRVP. We could get back up here to like $670, and I'm also seeing kind of like a falling wedge here. We've been coming down for a couple of days now, so at some point we probably are going to get some type of a relief rally. And again, it all has to do with earnings. If we get a good earnings, this could be the catalyst, and this could break this falling wedge out, and this shows that this could bring us back up into the $600 range, all the way to about $695, almost $700. So because of this pattern here, the stochastics being low, I'm kind of favoring a relief rally, even if eventually we end up coming down lower. We head over to the 4-hour time frame. We can see that the stochastics are also low. This is in our favor. We did lose the 200 moving average and the 21, but again, this is kind of resembling some type of a falling wedge. We could get a breakout soon if the stochastic Stochastics RSI start to pump up. So right now, the daily and the 4-hour, I'm in favor of a relief rally happening. On the 1-hour time frame, Stochastics double top here. We were on the way down, but look, we're starting to get a curvature back up. If we could get back above this 21 and this 200 moving average, I could see us going up to test this 50 moving average, which is at 624. We have some gaps here. We can easily get back up here to above the 80 moving average to 650, and then we have another gap that could bring us up to 660 over here. There's another gap here, and so on and so on. Eventually we could make it back up to $700. So I would say we have to wait for Wednesday to see what the decision is going to be. Are the earnings good or are they bad? If they're bad, I do see more downside. We could probably make it down to $500 or lower, but if they turn out to be good, I think that short term we could get a relief rally back above $640, possibly even to $700, depending on the earnings, even if eventually we end up rolling over. All right, guys, so that's the breakdown. If this gave you clarity or a setup to watch, do me a favor, like, drop a comment, subscribe, and if you have a stock or crypto you want me to go over, drop it in the comment section. This is FlexCandle, where we read the candles and flex the moves. Catch you on the next chart.